What's up you guys, Jason here. In today's video we're going to take a look at the camera gear that I use to film videos such as this or the trip videos. So if you're just a person that enjoys watching backpacking videos and you've ever wondered, hey, I wonder what kind of gear they use to film this stuff, or if you're another YouTuber who creates videos and you're like me and always curious about other people's gear, then stick around and find out. Alright you guys, today we're going to talk about the camera gear that I take backpacking with me or in a studio situation such as this. So let's get into it. First up we have the camera that I use. This camera is the Canon M50. It is a mirrorless camera. It is very small. I generally, what I'm filming with now is the 22mm lens. This is the 15 to 45 kit lens that comes with it. One of the things that's especially nice for creators is the flip out screen, rotates. It's very lightweight. Does everything that I need it to do. It does shoot in 4K, but the 4K is severely cropped and you lose the dual pixel autofocus on the 4K. So you could shoot in 4K, you would just have to manual focus. But like I said, it does have a severe crop, so it will be zoomed in an additional, I think 1.7 times the already, I think it's 1.6 crop for the APS-C sensors, because it's not a full frame camera. Next up I have the Rode Videomic Go with the Dead Cat windscreen on top. This came with the creator kit. I picked up a Videomic Micro maybe. It's real tiny. I'm not a big fan of it, so I switched back to using this. And I just prefer the audio on this particular one more than I do the other ones. One thing that I do use periodically is this is the Manfrotto little mini handheld tripod. As you can see, get stability. You can set it up like that, or you can flip this little switch and it will lay completely flat. As most of you know, before this I had a Canon T6i, a big DSLR. It worked good, but I wanted something smaller. And I was really interested in the dual pixel autofocus that this has. This camera, in my opinion, for the price is awesome. I know, Sony, they've been in the mirrorless game for a lot longer and they have really nice stuff, but just this little flip out screen, rotatable screen is, that's what sells me on it. One of the things that people complain about the Canon M50 is they say that the battery is horrible. I've never had an issue with the battery. I can film an entire trip, like a whole day, and not have any issues, not have to switch my battery. I generally just throw it on the charger at night when I'm sleeping, and just so I can have a fresh battery in the morning. But I always do take a second battery with me at all times just in case. But battery life has not been an issue to me at all. And just while we're on that topic, if you're wondering how do I charge my batteries, well, I have this is a RAV Power Extreme Series. This is the 20,800 milliamp hour. It's got 3 USB ports here in the bottom to charge. I have this one. I also have a 26,800 milliamp hour charger. Just depending, I don't even know why I have two. I just do. But I generally only take one with me, and that's plenty enough to charge my phone and my camera for 4 or 5 days, just depending on how much I use them. And next up here is this is a Numoa. It's a dual bank USB charger. I can put my batteries on here. It has a cable, and I can just plug it right into that battery bank, and this charges both my camera batteries. And I keep all this stuff, the extra battery, the charger, this USB battery pack, I keep them in a Cuban fiber little zip dry bag, and that's the gear that I use for when I'm filming trip videos. Periodically, the tripod that this Canon M50 is on, I'll take it with me sometimes. It just depends on the trip and what kind of filming I want to do. So next up, I'll show you my studio setup and what I use to film this type of video. All right, you guys, here is my workstation, keyboard, mouse. Here is my screen. It's I think a 40-inch or something like that. I'm not real sure. I can't remember. It's what I use to edit on. Here is a computer that I built a long time ago. It is severely outdated, but it still works. And here's just the SD card reader that I use. Now we'll take a look at the actual. Here is the other M50. This is a Dolica tripod. This was a recommendation from Restless Outdoors. I really like it. And next up, you see the lighting I got going on here. These are a Limo Studios. I think it's a 700 watt set. I think both lights with bulbs and stands and everything was like 70 bucks. Not like the highest of quality, but it works and I like it. Over here, that's just where I sit. And that about, well, the one thing I did mention, or forgot to mention, is on this camera here, I use a lavalier mic, which is what I'm using right now to record this audio. But that's about it, you guys. One thing I did forget to mention, this is a little fold-up white balance card. This is how I set the white balance for the videos that I shoot here in the studio / bedroom. I generally do auto white balance when I'm shooting trip videos. Nowhere near a camera professional, so you know, whether the white balance looks good or not, I don't really know. It looks good to me when I'm shooting. So whether I'm using the card correctly or, you know, whatever, you know, who knows. But this is just the setup that I use to shoot trip videos and studio videos such as this. The equipment that I use works great for me. May not work good for you. It's just something you gotta play around with and see. So, oh, one thing, the software that I'm editing on is Premiere Pro, but I've been using Wondershare Filmora, and it is like, I think 60 bucks for a year. And this video here will actually be the first time I've edited on Premiere Pro, so I'm not sure how it's going to go. So we'll just play around with it and see, and hopefully it turns out good.